This is Qtv This Morning. I am Ibrahim Abalde. We are back on another edition for this week again. What a wet Monday morning. I mean, it's been raining since last night. Yeah, so Mam Nabuka, good morning.
Morning, Balde.
How are you feeling?
Really good. Had a nice weekend. Good rest. So, alhamdulillah.
Mr. Momodou Mboj is our newspaper review guest. Good morning, Mr. Mboj. How are you?
Good morning. Alhamdulillah.
How are you living the rain?
It's horizontal in bed, yeah. Yeah, there's nothing like sort of being in bed under the covers. And that sort of the noise, that shattering.
Yeah, the corrugate, this roof. Yes.
Big time, the patter.
That's lovely. I like sleeping when hearing
I think we all do, actually. I think there's something about it that sort of eases our sleep somehow. So, yeah, absolutely. So, whole night, more or less, it rained whole night.
ñun ñu amee jabar yi léegi ñu tëdda gars yi dóor ñu gowe saaf bu correct ñu taalal ñu gowe saaf si néeg bi but I don't go out when it rains, man. You know, I'll be enjoying my little chill in the house.
You don't need to have a wife to enjoy.
Oh, well,
so what are you saying?
I didn't say anything.
He's saying some people enjoy it.
No, I just said, for us, those that have wives, you understand? So you enjoy. So ko amul wife, lolu mom du ñun suñ problem. Ñun we are enjoying. Ñun we are enjoying.
All right, fine.
Likes of Buff Balde. ñoom taw bi su moo taw gars yi dañ day génn di tëj bunti kër yi di fata pax yi ak yooyu noonu. Bachelors. Si néegi béy yi lañ dee fanaan.
So that's the lot of a bachelor.
Yes. All right.
Thank God I'm not one.
Mam Nabu, take us through the quote.
So, our African proverb today reads, "The eye of the leopard is on the goat, and the eye of the goat is on the leaf."
Yes, that's the food chain.
The food chain.
Lolo mom janga nañ ko school. Food chain. Yeah, so what does this mean, Mr.
I don't know.
I mean,
with the goat, well, the focus is to eat, isn't it? So, taking care of your immediate needs. But again, there's a threat somewhere.
Yeah.
So, where one person sees, I don't know, opportunity to eat.
Yes.
Another person sees you as prey. So maybe whilst you are focused on things, then you may miss threats around. I don't know. Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your take?
Well, I don't think if I'll make sense here. You see,
then don't say.
In life, life goes in circle. You know, you can be pursuing this, someone is pursuing another thing, and another person is pursuing another thing until it gets to you. So let's take a look at the money that we spend. If I am having $100 here, if I go to the shop and spend that $100, I will get the food that I want to buy. But tomorrow when you come to that shopkeeper, he can give you my money. So it's more of a circle. It's a circle.
Yeah, circulation.
So I think life is all about that. You know, Mr. Mamna, let's hear from you.
I think my take on it is don't be overconsumed by something you're focusing on or yourself. Generally, you could do that, but also be aware of things around you, because while you are focused on that one thing, things outside of that are affecting you generally. So you could have a goal or something that you are pursuing, but at the same time, you could think outside of that and see things outside of that as well. To be aware.
Yeah. So you mean you need to also take heed of things outside your surroundings. Yeah, that's important, Mr. Boyd.
Of course, and all of that. But I'm seeing something. I think this is telling me about power. Power looks outwards. This is the leopard is looking at the goat. for advantage, for gain, you know, the lion and all of that. Power looks outwards. But survival, the good, the leaf is to eat as well. Survival looks downwards. I don't know. Some positions are more vulnerable than
the
others.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I sort of getting that sense as well.
I think the goat is in a more vulnerable,
It's
situation
very
than the goat eating the grass, because we all
Absolutely.
understand, you know, what a leopard can do. You know, it is very, you know, an aggressive, predator.
Yes, predator.
Yeah, so
in our day, we used to say predator.
Yeah, so we all understand how that situation is going to end up.
That's it.
Yeah, so
position and vulnerability, I think there's a bit of that there as well. And even what psychologists call conditioned awareness. Awareness is never neutral.
Yeah.
You always have a purpose, isn't it? So once you realize that about yourself, that everything, all your focus, your attention, where you decide to put it, that is a kind of conditioning, isn't it? So you're just focused on that, then you don't see what is around you. So that we will always be vulnerable because of that. Because no gaze is ever neutral. Every gaze, there's a purpose behind it. Why are you looking? What are you saying? So that takes your attention away from a lot of things around you.
They've just narrowed down the proverb to the leopard, but it's more than...
Oh, big time. But that's it.
In situations, it's telling you situations.
That's it. What is a leopard? You know.
Yeah, so, let's take a short break and acknowledge our sponsors. Then after that, we will take a look at the newspapers and just note the program. It's not going beyond 10 a.m. today.
Yes, you know, sometimes how circumstances can unfold, so you adapt as they come.
Absolutely. Adaptation. Yeah, so we'll be right back after the break.
In today's world, speed matters, but slow internet can hold you back. Now, the future of connectivity has arrived in the Gambia. QCell's Q-Fiber, ultra-fast, ultra-reliable internet designed for the way you live. Stream your favorite shows without buffering. Power your business with seamless video calls. Study, work, and play online like never before. From homes to businesses, QCell Fiber is connecting the Gambia to the future. QCell's Q-Fiber. Get connected today. Call 145 or 300-3779. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Gambia, are you ready for something big?
From your trusted GSM operator, QCell, your favorite app just got a major upgrade.
From your phone to the world, buy credit, buy Sunu bundle packages, loan credit with eFankanta, and buy Q Power all in one place.
And here's the real upgrade.
Welcome back from that break. Today, the coffee I'm taking is a bit sour. Coffee waruta foro de.
Sour coffee.
Dafa foro tay mam na.
What does that mean?
Yeah, Mr. Mboj is one of them. Mr. Ade. These people, the drug law enforcement agency, new Holland and send coffee. We don't trust them. Yeah, so we have the Observer 24. The main headline of the Observer 24 reads, Barrow on top. Okay. Polls put President family in the lead as 51% say he has best chance of winning 2026 election. Do you believe in opinion polls?
Obviously, you must, when it's done sort of the way that it should be done. You have a standard methodology that we use to get these things. It gives you a snapshot of things. It's not a prediction.
Yeah.
So we just have to get our terms right. So a lot of people will tell you, oh, I don't believe in this because they misunderstand what actually it means, what that information means. It's just that it's a snapshot of what people are saying. It can change next week. That can change next month. It will be interesting to have one around mid-November.
Yes.
You know, on the 5th of December is the election. It will be interesting to have one around mid-November and see how views, people are changing their minds and the like, especially with this undecided. It's massive.
Exactly.
They could be deciding around that time. Or, but again, some of them may decide to stay home. You just never know. What would the turnout be like? I think the last time, 2021, we had 89%, something like that. It
wow.
was massive. It was a massive turnout. The last time, 2021. It will be interesting to see what the turnout would be like in the presidential.
So what do you think is the problem of undecided voters? I mean, what makes an individual to come to that decision, I am not going to vote again?
Because nobody has really persuaded you. Nobody has impressed you at all. So you're not committed to any of the options on the table.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
For me, I mean, I voted for different political parties. I voted for presidential, a different party. Local elections, I voted for a different party.
Okay, let me ask you this. What determines your preferences? The party or the individual?
The individual. Because I believe, for the last elections I voted, I believe the individual got the competence. I mean, the individual got that stuff, and the person got that integrity, I mean, to steer the affairs of my, area where I live. So I voted for him, despite the party he is from. Although our parties didn't align. I mean, I'm not supporting the party that he is in, but I voted for him as an individual.
So that is very interesting here, Ma'am Nabu, isn't it? It's almost like the party is a vehicle for individual ambitions. That's a very interesting way. But again, who can blame you? Maybe the party doesn't have an identity as such.
That's why I was asking.
You know what I mean? There's no political identity. There's no identity. So we go to the individuals.
I ask that question a lot when we talk about alliances, because a lot of the time people do, get lost in between about, where to go, because there's no clear identity there. Like, who do I follow? Because it was this one person and now they've moved here. Where do I go next?
Yeah, so the
and
problem...
Even you're 51. Well, let's look at it. That's a very interesting thing. It says Barros sort of what has the best chance.
Yes, of winning.
Of winning. Be careful with that. It doesn't mean that they will necessarily vote for him. Because when the other one, the voter intention...
It's still opinion.
That is 32%. So this is really telling you something else. Because when I ask the question, why do they think that Barros got the best chance? Maybe they'll look at the advantage of incumbency. Maybe they'll look at the fact that opposition haven't got one platform. These are all eating away from their chances. So be careful with that, what it means to say that Barros got the best chance. Why is that? That should be important, because that is not necessarily the same as those who have said that they would vote for him. 32% said that they'll vote for him. But 51 are saying that he's got the best chance. That is very interesting.
And that number as well was drawn from a sample size of like a bit over 1,500.
Yes.
So...
But I did my investigation. You go and read statisticians. What do they say? For a population size of 2.whatever million, when they take 1,005 whatever, and you have to select your sample in a given way,
right,
so that you try to remove certain biases of region or age or sex, stuff like that. So statistically, that is not bad. That is okay. It's within the range of okay. So these people will obviously bring in professionals to conduct these surveys. Be it SEPRAS, that's really their job. You know what I mean? Look at the people working there. Be it Gambia participates as well. When you look at, you know, when you read their report, you'll see their methodology.
Yeah.
That's the people who did it. So you have professionals doing their job. Just because the numbers do not favor you, then you want to play it down, you want to kick it about and that sort of thing. That is sort of unfair. But let's put it in context as well.
Yeah.
They're not predicting anything, and it's just a short-term snapshot.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything really in the end.
I think if I am opposition, I should use this records as you know, something to learn. I mean, to use it and change my strategy probably. You know, we have seen you know, many political parties. I don't know, should I call it mixing and interacting? This party moving to another party moving to another party. So I think this should be used as a strategy for those political parties.
All these political parties should have been conducting their own polls a long time ago. This is my candidate. Would you vote for my candidates in an election?
Yes,
Yes
or no,
or
why?
no. And then I'll go, why not? What does this candidate need to do for you to vote for this candidate? This candidate. You know what I mean? So all political parties, all organizations, they are constantly taking polls to guide, as it were, how they present themselves, what's the image, what's the message, and that sort of thing. These polls should be our friends, not our enemies.
Yes, that's how we should view it.
That's what it is. Just understand it for what it is. Put it in its context, you know what I mean? Do not draw too much, as it were, conclusions, as it were, from this. It's just a snapshot now. Gradually, it could change.
Yeah.
It's not predicting anything. These are just perceptions. You know what I mean? So, no need to, as the English would say, get our knickers in a twist over this.
And that was actually the initial reaction when the report first came out. I saw a lot of people online reacting to it in a very negative way, which it shouldn't be. It's just an opinion poll, and you know it can change along the way.
Absolutely, they should take it seriously and see how to strategize instead of trying to thrash it.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, so let's move on, takes records to voters. All right, so we have Barrow challenges Dabo's record.
In what?
What
What
record?
record?
We need to know what record, although he's been sending shots recently to the UDP. It's the Observer 24. Police arrest 2 men over alley cattle theft in West Coast region. So it's happening, and the Livestock Owners Association, they're also doing their best to make sure, you know, they fight cattle rustling, you know, in the Gambia. Ibrahim was here, and he said they got, you know, a few incidents where the Owners Association, the Livestock Owners Association, you know, have put together their resources and energy to make sure they stop that. But imagine someone stealing cattle.
Why not? I mean, it's as old as anything. There will always be thieves, huh? Stealing this, that, or the other. So just have a good law enforcement regime, and you, the owner, have a good security enforcement regime. They've caught them, isn't it? You said they've caught 2 people, have been arrested.
Yes, they've been arrested.
Well, there are suspects, at least we didn't know whether they did. So this is what you expect. You just want the system to go well, because sometimes some people will steal. You know what I mean? Either they break into your home or your car, or indeed go and get your cattle. You know, go to the farm and get your cattle. So what can we do about that?
I mean, the only sure thing is that there should be consequences to prevent other people from going down that same path.
Where are you going to carry that?
Last time, how can people steal livestock when they're screaming and crying all the time?
I'm telling you, how are you going to manage? But they have their own way of doing it.
Absolutely. And be I wonder how many.
Yeah.
Such white tearing land. We never get those numbers. You just never know. So you could have such good ideas what they're going to do with it, but you such in the first place.
Okay, so the new political movement, Economic Freedom Fighters Launch. That's the same paper. You know, there's a guy called himself Prince. I am pretty sure, Mr. Mbo, you've been seeing him on social media. Or
I don't do social
something
media.
Prince.
What is it called, you said? Economic Freedom Fighters? Is it economic?
Economic Freedom Fighters.
That's Malema.
EFF.
Isn't it?
Malema?
South Africa.
Yeah,
economic, isn't it?
Okay, that was the debate on social media.
So that's a parallel.
So this guy, he used that name, you know, and used it for his political movement in the Gambia. So people were saying, okay, why can't we do our own thing? Why can't we come up with our own ideas? In fact, we even have Pastef Gambia. You understand? So, I mean, our IQ sometimes is questionable.
That's unfair. A lot of stuff that we believe sometimes, or words we use, they're quite derivative.
Yeah.
So we do this all the time. So yes, why not? I don't have a problem with that. Calling economic freedom fighters, is it something like that? But what's the content?
Yeah.
This is just a title, these are just words. So what's the plan? What's the goal? And then how are we going to achieve that? So the details matter much more than the fact that the name is derivative. What's wrong with that? We do that sort of thing all the time. So that's a bit unfair on him, I think.
I mean, but the fact that people are already looking at it from that context, do you think they're already looking at him a certain type of way?
Yes, certainly that some people would regard Malema as a hothead. So would he be a hothead as it were? So we'll see how he's going to fight for our economic rights, as it were. We'll see, you know. I do not know.
This guy was throwing cash when he was going to his movement's meeting, you know, and
throwing cash about.
money.
How sustainable is that sort of thing?
I was
What
going
does it
to say,
mean?
what does that mean?
And why do you want to do that?
Fighting economic, just economic independence, economic freedom.
No, when you're throwing it about, you are making me dependent on you, that is not independence. I disagree with
But
that.
they all
You
got
don't
their
give,
strategy.
don't give me, don't
every
give me
political
money.
party, every political movement, they got their strategy of getting people's attention.
Whatever your strategy of getting
It
my
needs to be
attention,
sustainable.
That's one. And I'm capable of interpreting what's going on. You know what I mean? Why should you splash money at me? In Nigeria, they have a word for it. I can't remember it right now. You know, when you go to parties or weddings, the way they just splash the money about. To my mind, that is just so vulgar, to be quite honest. So far, that one hasn't got brownie points from me.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so Bensouda pledges jobs, power, reform, and accountability as Coalition 2026 candidate.
Because the
You know,
blueprints.
thank you. Mr. Ali was saying this very same thing the last time. How are you going to do that?
Give us the blueprints.
How are you going to do that?
And have you costed everything? Say, we love giving plans, but when you ask them, have you costed anything? Then it's not a policy.
Yeah.
You see, one understands the vision, the aims, the broad stuff, but you have to bring them down to what they call smart goal setting. That's it.
Yeah.
Something measurable. And you have to cost it as well. Is it doable? So that is the problem.
How do you intend to achieve all these things?
So
then?
that is the way. Talk is cheap.
Absolutely. How do you walk the talk? Walk
It reminds me
takes
when
energy.
Bensouda was here, I think last year, and after the conversation, I asked him, Talib, do you want to be president? He was quiet for a moment. Maybe after a few seconds, he said, okay, if my party leader allows me, why not? But if he doesn't, I am not going to, I mean, I'm not going further.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was the right thing to say at the time.
Yeah.
But times change, and you must change with the times.
Okay, all right. Let's see what will happen. Fertilizer distribution faces politicization, claims in the Upper River region.
Yes, that's very interesting. That's the politicization of sort of, wow, what do they mean? Do they mean that they prioritize sympathizers, political sympathizers, maybe NPP supporters? I don't know. It seems that's the allegation there. It will be a shame. One hopes that it isn't like that. How do we separate national imperatives from party political, as it were, advantage or interest as a sign of maturity? I hope that authorities will address this sort of claim, and then we behave like grown-ups. We know that we are in an election sort of cycle season, as it were, but still you have to behave like a grown-up, really. Don't be totally consumed by the party political interest to the extent that you will lose your values. You will lose in the end, really. Whatever gains you might make, can only be short term. In the longer term, you lose yourself. So we never lose the values.
Yeah, so, I mean,
there's conversation around that a lot. When things happen, it could be development projects or anything, and there's conversation around whether this is a long-term developmental plan or it's political patronage. I'm like, okay, but does it sway the opinion of people in those areas as well when they receive these things?
I am quite utilitarian in these things. Is it about political patronage? I don't know, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, can I use it?
Yeah.
Is it serving me well? So the utility principle, that's what I apply there. Whatever your motivations are, how do I know? But as long as it's useful, it is useful, it's beneficial.
Sure.
So in that sense, I'm a moral consequentialist.
Okay.
You have
That's fair.
consequentialism, it's a moral stance, whereas others would judge the motivation
behind it, yeah.
I don't know, I suppose in some areas we should judge the motivation, but in certain practical, pragmatic terms, certain ways, I don't know. If it is useful, if I can use it, I just apply the utility principle and just move on. So that's cool.
all right. So let's talk about the UDP rally in Brikama, SSP, yesterday. They painted the whole town yellow. You know, party militants, you know, came from different places across the country, I mean, to attend and mark the 30th anniversary of the United Democratic Party. So we've seen also the APP Sobaya leader there, SFR, you know, to show solidarity with the United Democratic Party.
That's it, even though there is no formal alliance yet established. Oh, absolutely. Quite interesting. Why Brikama? But that is it. Brikama is a quite interesting place. One can even say politically iconic in all sorts of ways. Ever since way back, it was a very important place for the PPP, certainly. So there's something about Brikama, absolutely, and even the size. Isn't it that area, the Brikama area council, that size? So potentially what you can draw out. So for political rallies, there's something iconic, I suppose, about Brikama. And the numbers, absolutely. I saw a bit online. You see a sea, a massive ocean of yellow all over the place. And yes, this is how you want your rallies to be. You want to draw on the numbers. And they did. And yes, as I went over to show solidarity, for those that tell us sooner or later, are we going to be part of the UDP alliance? You know, maybe it doesn't necessarily follow. To show solidarity is not the same thing as
wanting
to
to
form an alliance. One understands that. So that is it. Fantastic. Now the challenge is, how do you turn all of that into votes on the 5th of December? Which is a slightly different challenge there.
It's a different ball game.
Over there, absolutely. But for this one, the purpose, get as many people as you can. And they did. It seems that they did. I don't know how many thousands were there. All, you know, fantastic. That was what they wanted. Which is different from what was said. You'll have to go into what was said at the rally. I don't know. I didn't listen.
Well, we've also, there is an audio also said of former President Yahya Jammeh, I mean that they will uproot some of the untrusted members of APRC, people that compromise the integrity of the APRC party. So the audio allegedly said, you know, very soon things will change and level up in the field of APRC politics. Do you think Jammeh got that relevance again?
Why do we give what we used to call these stories sort of the oxygen of publicity?
Right.
When it's just totally irrelevant, completely irrelevant. Our former president should be worried about, we've got a special prosecutor. Sooner or later we are going to come for you and you have charges to answer for. You know what I mean? Very important, grave things were written about him. So he needs to come and answer to certain charges in a court of law. That is the only context I will talk about our former president. Not in any other context in many ways. These are very grave things. So many people died. The torture, the notion of having junglers. Sometimes we are forgetting all of that, really. And that should be the focus right now. It is only in that context that I will really talk about our former president, not trying to influence anything here. He had his day. It came to a close. That's life.
That's why I find the use of the word integrity very funny, because you have a lot of things to answer to, and you're talking about uprooting people from a party.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Insane.
Yeah, so that is what it is. I mean, we all understand during the days of the APRC government, we've seen the revelations from the TRRC. I think those are things that should worry him for now. Not about parties.
You don't get any sense that he would repent anything.
Yeah.
Did he have a kind of crisis? Is he human? I do not know. Because one should really have that, but rather one would try to deny everything. I do not know. What we need to do is to go and test things in court for us to know. It baffles me in many ways. One would have thought that he would have some kind of crisis. Any ethical being, really, you know really what you did. Now the power is gone. Any ethical being would reflect, to say the very least. I just don't know, man.
All right, so this is QTV this morning. I mean, let's see what will happen. And the UDP also claimed, one of the UDP members said they will make sure the results are announced, you know, the election day. I mean, and that brought a mixed feeling between the UDP and NPP.
You mean when they said they will announce the results before the IEC?
Yes.
Why should the NPP get involved in many ways? It seems this is an attack directed at the IEC. Is it that you don't trust the IEC?
Yeah.
Why? What's the reason for this lack of trust? You see, that is a very dangerous thing to say. If we do not trust the referee in a game, that's the only way I can put it, then we are in trouble.
Yeah.
Because whatever decision is going to be a source of conflict.
You will not be
it's not going to
content
be.
with that.
It's not going to work. Can't you see? So, if you have any specific claims or allegations against the IEC, bring it out. We thrash it out. But to say things like we are going to announce before they do, I do not know how that will advance the debate in any positive way. You know, it's more of a negatively charged.
Yeah, it's not sending out a good message.
No, it is irresponsible. It is completely irresponsible, really, if you have something specific against the IEC, bring it out.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the IEC, it's the only authorized, body to announce results. Although sometimes during elections, you can see a lot of, results going around. Sometimes before IEC even, announced those results, even the 2016 election, that's what happened.
Anywhere you go, they have something called exit polls. But I think in Britain, for instance, there are rules about when you can use it against the official declaration, isn't it? So, of course, if you want to have that kind of structure in place, I do not see why not. But yet, you must wait for the official result. You don't go around declaring victory when the official referee has not said so. So that could be a source of conflict of some sort. So we should run away, move away from that kind of talk, that kind of thinking. You know what I mean? And trust in the IEC. We have to make sure of that. Otherwise, we are all in trouble. If we have problems with it, let's deal with it right now.
That's right.
Really, rather than wait until then and say, no, we're going to make our own declaration. I'm not so sure about that.
So Barrow warns voters, attacks Dabo and Bensouda. So on the main headline of the Point newspaper.
I don't know, what does it mean? Warned. What's the warning here?
Maybe voters should be very careful.
If you vote for these people,
be careful and choose the person you vote for wisely. What do you think?
But again, you would expect politicians around this time to say stuff like that, wouldn't you? Yes, so it will depend on whether voters heed his warning or not.
Yes.
So it's their
All
choice.
that he can do is to warn or is to say these things. But it depends on the individual to do what they feel like.
You're selling a message. It is the time of, the year.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
You're
Each
selling
of them,
a message.
they're selling a message, and the voters are going to align with what they believe they should align with.
Absolutely. Would I buy it? Would I buy your message? Well, it depends. How persuasive are you?
Yeah.
How persuasive are you?
So on the bottom headline, the right side, Coalition 2026 leadership vows to combat corruption and end poverty.
Again, how? How are you going to do that?
You know me, I am not fascinated about these stories or these headlines anymore, because we've seen people that promised us a lot of things and still they couldn't deliver. We've seen people that will tell you, if you vote for me, I will do this and that and that and that. And we haven't seen anything of that sort.
Yes, absolutely. And it can never be, well, maybe I shouldn't say that, but one thing is clear. When you are in opposition, as I like saying, all you need to move is just your lips. When you are in power, it's a completely different
Ball game.
Now you are required to deliver tangibles. Yes? But again, when you are in a position of power, then you realize that you are quite restricted in what you can do. Yes? You may go with your plan. The voters, the electorate, they voted for you based on promises in a manifesto.
Yeah.
Fine. Now you go to the civil service, the administrators. I've been voted into power based on this. Now, how can you help me implement my plan? That's really the role of the civil service. That is why any government that comes along, I give you my agenda, my manifesto. This is why people voted me in. These are my policies. Now help me implement my policies. They are the technicians there. Then they begin to see the shortcomings. Well, sir, we've tried this before, but it didn't work, or this was the effect.
Yeah.
You have to change there. So reality is hemming in what you can do. And then international relations as well. We depend so much on aid. Now you want to come with certain policies. When they punish you, you'll be left in tears. Jomai, look at what's going on between Jomai and Sonko.
Yeah.
That's really what the issue is. The realities of power, sitting there in the hot seat, versus being slightly out of it and having all kinds of ideas.
Honestly, for Jomai and Sonko, I haven't seen that coming.
It's the reality. Well, we could see it coming, obviously. When you're in power, it's different. We were saying it upstairs here, and to many people, let's take a bet, how long? And everybody was like, oh, these two are different. I'm like, oh, how naive can you be? They are now in power. It's different. We saw Thomas Sankara and Blaise Compaoré. Ooh, that was also very, very, very close. But that's what power does. So this is the realities of power. Will make sure that you will modify, you will change your manifesto. You wouldn't. All over the world, that's what they complain about. Go to Britain, go to US. They all say, oh, politicians, the first thing they abandon in office is the manifesto. And that is true.
That's what they put aside. Yeah. True. So I've gone through a documentary this morning, in Nigeria. So Olusegun Obasanjo was a president, during the early 60s. Is it 60s
no,
or 70s?
70s.
70s.
Yes.
Okay. Before Buhari, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Buhari's coup, I think, was in 1985. So Obasanjo was before. So it was Obasanjo who handed over to a civil government, Sheku Shagari. Yes. That's it. Before Obasanjo returned, was it in 2007, 2000 something, to be a civilian president. So a president twice, one as a military leader, another one as a civilian.
So what happened? Buhari also assumed power in a
absolutely
coup d'etat,
in a
right?
coup d'etat,
Okay.
absolutely, 85 or so. And he wasn't there for that long. And then I think, was it when he left, it was Maradona took over, Ibrahim Babangida. I think, yes. So, and then he came back again against Goodluck Jonathan. Wasn't it 2015, 20 something like that. Absolutely, both of them very parallel sort of careers.
Okay.
That sort of thing.
That's interesting. So the military leader still in Guinea-Bissau is running the affairs of the state?
Yes, where is Mbalo?
Mbalo, the last time I saw Mbalo was with Macky Sall, when he was doing that UN tour.
The Secretary
Yes,
General
he was with
canvassing support.
Mbalo in the Gambia and Senegal.
Absolutely. Mbalo's one. I think Goodluck Jonathan called it the ceremonial coup.
Yes.
he invented
he said the president, can you imagine, if there is a coup d'etat, the president himself announcing and talking to international media that I'm arrested. So
I've been toppled.
Yeah, he said, who is fooling who here? That's what he said. It doesn't look like a coup d'etat. That's not a coup d'etat there. That's handover power.
Our politics is just quite fascinating, I guess, in that sense. We'll come up with all sorts of ways just to retain power. It's extraordinary. once we grab onto it, we don't want to let it go. Some people have said that with our zero-sum type of politics, there's no incentive to leave. I may leave and the next lot come after me.
And people ask that question all the time. They want to know. They want to know what's there. Why is it that even some of them, when they're about to be in power and they make the promise that I won't be here for long, but once they get in power, they don't leave. What's there?
Even in 1994, when Jammeh took over power, when the Senegalese journalists interviewed him, Jammeh said, "No, for us, we do not have the intention to stay long. We are just here, to put everything in order. Then we hand over power." Then it turned out to be 22 years.
Absolutely. And I want to be charitable to them. I think at the time that they sort of make these statements, they really mean them.
Yeah.
It's just that they just do not understand, or they hadn't understood the nature of power at the time that they made those statements. Once you get in there, your whole world changes. Therefore, your views, your feelings, your emotions, everything about you changes. Really. But you just couldn't imagine it. And then you contradict yourself. But there's nothing wrong with that. We contradict ourselves all the time. Human beings, we are too complex, really, to be reduced to simplistic formulas. Really. So you can be right, both of it. At the time, you meant it. You got into there, the reality changed. So you want to continue. That's the human for you.
Gentleman, lady, this is all we have for today.
Yeah,
so we're going to draw the curtain here. Upstairs, enjoy our coffee. Those that will go do African news, go and do the African news. Those that are preparing for drive time, prepare for it. So viewers, this is all we have for today. We'll be back here again tomorrow for another edition of QTV This Morning. Tata.
Did I hear Tata?